Welcome to Life Chats with Friends. I'm your host, Antonio Stevens, here to explore the untamed, unpredictable nature of being human, embracing the chaos, and dancing with the unexpected. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Life Chats with Friends. It has been a minute since we've had an episode of the show, and I'm so grateful to be able to continue doing this and to be back for our first live episode with Laman Ben-trajoret, who has been on the show before. A little bit about Laman. He is a passionate wellness coach and entrepreneur from Arlington, Virginia, with a lifelong dedication to holistic wellness. Laman aims to share knowledge and information to foster a healthier and balanced world, and he specializes in physical wellness, personal growth, corporate wellness, and employee health. Believing that fitness and nutrition impact not just our bodies, but also our minds and spirits, Laman's ultimate goal is to make fitness accessible to all. Welcome to the show, Laman.
Thanks for having me back, Antonio. The last time we did this was from computer screens, and now you have a whole setup. You have this art. It's beautiful. Really, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Lux. For today's discussion, we are looking to cover change and transformation and recognizing that this is the inevitable. It's the one thing that we're certain of and sure of. Laman, I'm really excited and ready to dive in and would just love to hear from you. You know, what are you seeing around you, the people that you're coaching, your clients? Again, recognizing that change is something that is constant, and it seems like a lot of people around us are being catapulted through this at the moment. What are you seeing personally and then on a societal level as well?
Yeah, definitely. So last time we talked, I think I wanted change to happen for me, my business. I was at a stage where I was working with people one-on-one, and I really wanted to kind of dive deeper into the corporate wellness space and work with hotels, office buildings, and you name it, right? Just trying to expand and grow as any entrepreneur wants. But that change wasn't so happening. So I felt like there were a couple roadblocks in my way. And so particularly when it comes to all the stuff that I wanted to do when we last talked, I'm not doing, but it was like a year and a half between that. So sometimes change doesn't necessarily happen when we are ready to. In fact, change happens most of the time when we're not ready. And right now, in terms of a personal and societal level, I think we're seeing a lot of change that we're not ready for. If it's in the form of losing a job, having a new job, losing a relationship, gaining a relationship, or a business relationship that new. So I think it's that part of change that's the unpredictable factor that I'm personally facing, and I think I'm sensing in just all over the world, actually.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And like I said, everyone I've spoken to, friends around us, family members, at work, personally me, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it seems like we're all just going through it. And so what are some of the things that, you know, you've been sharing with your clients or that you've been sharing with people around you on how they can maintain control as, you know, as and when things feel turbulent or as they're moving through these new dimensions of being a human being, and yeah, as the world continues to progress?
Yeah, I think something that's helped me is gaining insight, but sometimes there's insight that you get the information and what can you do with it, right? Is it insight or information that's going to make you stress out more? If it's change and it's unpredictable and you're not ready for it, that type of information might be like, oh, this is not what I wanted to do. This is not what I wanted to hear. So then you try to repress it, or you try to kind of say, how can I delay this feeling that I'm feeling, or do something that makes me feel good in the immediate sense? And I think that's where I really rely on my community, especially people that have given me guidance, hope, or just a different perspective that I wouldn't see, because sometimes we're so in the weeds of what we're doing or what we're trying to sustain, which is usually security, right? We want those safeguards to be there, and we want to maintain our sandcastle. The change is like, you know, it's like an ocean that comes in, like sandcastles everywhere, there's sand everywhere. So for me, it's really been trying to seek insight from just, you know, people in my community, people like you, people that we have around us, and even insights from people that I might not necessarily agree with, and having the patience to breathe and just listen and seeing, can I see it differently? And by seeing it differently, can I get a sense of calm in knowing that, hey, this change is happening?
That's really big. And actually, that's something that I've been coming up against. And I've shared this with you in the last few weeks, the last month, but really stepping outside of my own world that I've created in my head from all these thoughts that are driving my perceptions, and it's seeking a kind of neutral third-party perspective, i.e. a therapist, and doing that for the first time and just seeing what the benefit and value of that has been, you know, incredible. And I'm excited to see how that journey will continue to progress. Are there things that people should be keeping in mind? I know you just provided some tips, but other things that people should be keeping in mind to help them find balance. And I know, for example, one thing for me, as I've been navigating a lot of these changes personally, professionally, it's just maintaining integrity. And it's like being able to show up, being able to navigate these spaces, these problems with the utmost respect and dignity for people as they are human beings first before anything else. Is there anything for you that you would, you know, draw attention to?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's so important to go to any situation that you're in from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. Know that your emotions don't have to compound if you don't let them. So to kind of keep that blank slate, you know, like coming into any room and say, okay, I've had a long day, or my day just started and I'm dealing with something from the previous day, but know that you'll get another chance most often than not if you make it to your bed and you fall asleep. And I guess so much, I mean, I know in my personal day, you know, entrepreneurship is like juggling this thing that, you know, you're trying to climb, you're trying to, you know, like climb up the ladder, grow. But at the same time, for me, when I'm growing in the sense of like wellness, it's difficult because, you know, kind of the strategies and tools weren't readily available for me, and I didn't really have it in my community. So something that I really try to value is just a groundingness and like what can be that anchor. And a lot of the times the anchor for me is a true conversation with a stranger, a person I barely know, or a person that I'm helping, which is what I do. And even though I aspire to make these connections with, you know, big organizations and this big monumental change that we all see, that honestly, sometimes through social media seems so instant, that you really have to remember it is the individual people that you meet, the individual interactions that you have, and that makes a huge difference.
All right, Laman, talk to us a little bit more about Uplifted.
Yeah, definitely. So Uplifted is a brand slogan idea that I probably had for a while, but really started to take shape during the pandemic when we were spending a lot of times at the house thinking, you know, like, what could we do to better the situation? What can we do with our time? And how can, you know, our thoughts kind of formulate into something tangible? And Uplifted was a concept that, you know, I've kind of created in terms of in my community, and what has given me that groundedness, what has really given me a sense of being, is being able to support people in my community, support others. And it's something that is so important because it costs nothing and it's so impactful. So when I hear stories about people's unsung heroes, teachers, or like random acts of kindness or service that random person helped me out and just didn't have to, or I got that random piece of insight that I just remembered, it really uplifts us and it motivates us. And, you know, it's really powerful how those small things are. And Uplifted is really, right now it's a logo on a shirt that's under my company, but hopefully it is just a mindset and a belief that's able to spread to support your community through your own small actions, and to be there and see a person as a neighbor, see a person as a friend, and know that, hey, just because we share this space, and if we share this space, let's all uplift each other. But more so, I really think in all over the world, we're really feeling a giant sense of lack. We feel like there's just not enough, or we're not making enough, we're not earning enough, we're not doing enough. And it's a feedback loop of just like, oh no, this is enough. So Uplifted reminds me and hopefully others in the community that, hey, like we are doing something, we are lifting each other, even if it's in the smallest ways.
And I first just want to say just how proud I am of you, just watching the evolution of Uplifted, watching the evolution of your ideas since we've been friends, and just like sitting on the roof or sitting outside and just like hearing you go, but just really seeing how that's been maturing over the years has been very inspiring, and grateful to be a bystander, participant in it in whatever way possible. And similar to what you've said around Uplifted being a lifestyle, being something that you encapsulate, like I definitely see and feel that from you. And it makes sense that that is a brand that you're behind, and every room that you walk in, that I'm in, spaces that we've shared, I definitely feel uplifted as you're coming through, and you definitely embody that and also push other people to feel the same, sharing that energy, bringing that energy to any space. With that, long term, what is your commitment to your immediate community and then society at large?
Okay, so my commitment, I think it's evolved, and I think hearing you like going into therapy and like seeking help, it really is like forming how I believe, because I've been so self-sufficient for so long, and I'm an entrepreneur, so I spend a lot of like me time, and like, okay, like I help people, but like what is that third insight that I'm getting from a third party who like doesn't know me in the bullshit, and then like in the weeds with me. So my commitment is to heal from a lot of the family trauma that I've gone through that actually dictate how I feel and my mannerisms. Not to say that they have derailed me, but there is a certain part of myself, and I can only speak for myself here, that is really it's really directed by these past traumas and my beliefs, and how if I was able to kind of get insights more on that and heal from these wounds, that I would be a better coach, trainer, and advocate for wellness. I definitely think wellness isn't something where you are at the top and you are preaching down. I think wellness is something when you're at the bottom and you're talking around, and people are in their own little circles, be like, hey, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's good. And we can just kind of like spread that.
Yeah.
So my first commitment is on a path of healing. What does that look like? And hopefully being brave like you to kind of get that insight. And if I would say through that course, I hope I can better communicate with, other Black men, other queer people. Like these words that seem new are not new ideas or new concepts, or fringe on the outskirts. These are emotions, and they can be felt by every single human being on this planet. So, I just hope to heal, communicate better, and, spread this message. Because if we have more people who are healed, we have less bullshit, which is ideal.
I love that. And building on what you've said, I'll quickly share my commitment, but I would love to similar to your mission, it's making wellness more accessible to people in the workplace. I feel like we're ourselves at home, or we try to be ourselves at home, and then we come into this space and it's like we lose that. We forget about the things that we need to remain focused on to continue showing up as our best. And so it's really trying to humanize the whole workplace experience, and in doing so, it's helping people get well in the process so that everybody could thrive, everybody could be at their best, and it's really inspiring from that place. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Lux, or Laman. Lux, nickname.
Don't tell them my alias. They have to find that on their own. Come on.
Thank you so much. So before we close out, I'd love to do some rapid fire. Laman, what change to me means, finish the sentence.
Ooh, change to me means a cold slap to the face. No, I'm kidding. So change is definitely something. It's like a full encompassing emotional, whirlwind that you don't know where you end up on the other side, but more often than not, you end up in a better place.
I love that. And a better place, yes. Asking for help does not mean
that you are less than.
The best way to take care of yourself is
a good nap before you make a key decision.
I love that. And now this is looking for a bit of a longer response, but for anybody that's listening, today is August 1st, which represents the supermoon, which happens once in a lifetime. And so what this is asking us is to take initiative and turn inward before making any major changes in our career, home, or our lives, carving out time to reflect on what we truly want. And then from there, when we're ready to take the next step, better understanding what we're looking for, how to act, and how to achieve it. So how will you leverage this energy to propel you into the second half of the year with love, life, profession, etc.?
Well, they say it's all written in the stars, right? So I think what I'm going to try to continue to do is kind of lean into these new feelings, these new experiences that, that I felt that I was delayed on, but I'm experiencing, to kind of take them for what they are now, and to be more open with, like my rationale and my reasoning, especially those that come from places of vulnerability, places of, what I might be miseducated and thinking it's weakness, but understanding, hey, like these are emotions, they happen, and, they may dictate how you feel and how you think. But for the people who love you, unconditionally love you, knowing that insight about you will help them and help yourself, like heal, communicate, connect, and be together for longer. So I'm trying to practice these things that to kind of deal with an avoidant, experiences and, like upbringing that I might have, and really just lean into it.
Beautiful. Any final closing words before you share where people can find you?
Final words. We are all in this together. So I just want to take a chance to thank you, Antonio, for kind of setting this up and really growing, pushing anyone who's going to sit in this chair after me to have these conversations and really be at the forefront of the wellness conversation. This is generally new for a lot of communities, and it's important that there are different faces, different voices, different perspective who are in the conversation, especially before any type of robot or AI tries to tell us what to think, right? So I just really want to thank you for kind of pushing yourself and kind of putting to light a lot of these different lived experiences. And my last thing is that, we're all in this together. We're all learning, we're all growing, and we bounce off the energy of others. And so I hope that in this short time, other people got insight and come back for the next show.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you all at home, on your couches, at your computers, wherever you decided to take the time to tune in today, for sticking with us. Really appreciate the support. Really appreciate the enthusiasm. If you like this show or enjoyed this segment, feel free to share it with a friend. You can find us, follow us, subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and or Apple Podcasts. See you next time. Thank you so much.